Headlines on global business. China's top economic planner unveils measures including tax reductions and cutting red tape to bolster China's private companies. The World Gold Council said that gold demand falls in the second quarter as central bank buying slows. In our special series on the Belt and Road Initiative, we focus on Quanzhou, a prominent city along the maritime Silk Road. Hello, welcome to this edition of Global Business on CGTN. I'm Zhu Jingfeng. China's top economic planner unveiled detailed measures to boost the private economy on Tuesday in Beijing, after China earlier issued guidelines to support the sector. CGTN's Gao Wang has more.
Promoting fair access, strengthening legal protection, optimizing business-related services, and creating a good atmosphere. China's top economic planner released 28 measures in the latest efforts to spur growth of the private economy.
The measures further specify the areas to support the private economy to take the lead in undertaking scientific and technological research tasks, namely 6 areas including industrial software, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, industrial internet, gene and cell medicine, and new energy storage.
Officials also stress improving the business environment, including promoting in-depth market-oriented reforms, accelerating building the rule of law, and continuing to promote internationalization.
We have established a normal communication mechanism with private enterprises, through which we can fully listen to their opinions and suggestions and help them solve practical problems.
The private economy has been critical in driving China's economy. Official data shows that the share of tax revenue from private enterprises increased from under 50% to almost 60% from 2012 to 2021. And in 2022, over 50% of foreign trade was conducted by private enterprises. To promote fair access for private enterprises, officials say they'll work to support them to participate in major scientific and technological research and improve their capacity in key links of supply and industrial chain. Gao Ang, CGTN, Beijing.
Among the latest measures to bolster the private economy, the government has emphasized the financial support for private businesses under the 5 general categories, which includes promoting fair access, strengthening legal protection, and optimizing business-related services. There are more than 10 specific measures related to financial support, such as expanding the issuance of real estate investment trust or REITs in the infrastructure sector and expanding the term of the inclusive loan support for small businesses to the end of 2024, which is a strong signal of more practical help and support for private economy. Manufacturing conditions in China showed a slight deceleration in July due to lower output and weakened demand. The Caixin Purchasing Managers Index (PMI) decreased from 50.5 in June to 49.2 in July, marking the first drop below the 50-point threshold in 3 months. That indicates a contraction in the sector. The sluggish market conditions, both domestically and abroad, had an impact on customer demand, leading to reduced production levels. Despite the challenging macroeconomic environment, manufacturers maintained an optimistic outlook, as reflected in the PMI reading, for the future output expectations remaining above 50. Artificial intelligence and robots have become an integral part of our lives now, transforming the way we live, work, and interact. They can be used to improve efficiency and simplify home manufacturing systems. For a look at how they're contributing to high-quality development in Shandong province in east of China, we visit a robotics company.
Water filling, brewing, and latte art. With 2 flexible and stable mechanical arms, an intelligent coffee master finishes all these tasks in 75 seconds. A rehabilitation robot serves a man and is also a good helper in the factory, making a sci-fi plot come true in real life. As China's first high-tech enterprise engaged in research and development of collaborative robots, Aobo Robotics Company's Intelligent Factory launched last August is the first massive production line that replaces lathe workers and millers with robots, achieving a true unmanned workshop and making robots with robots.
现在主要的还是工业。
For our current application scenarios, industry accounts for about 65% of the total. In the next 5 years, we will basically use collaborative robots to replace our industrial robots.
想取代我们的工业机器人。
The key components of these 6-axis robotic arms have all been localized, and the operating area is controlled within 0.02 millimeters. The company aims to upgrade automation levels and expand automated production lines for collaborative robots, and achieving annual capacity of over 20,000 units, and becoming a leading brand in the world. Not only in Zibo City, in February, the Artificial Intelligence Computing Center was officially launched in Qingdao, Shandong Province. It has cooperated with over 50 enterprises such as Haier, Hisense, and CRIC Sifang, and has achieved over 70 algorithm model innovations.
We want to reach an output value of 20 billion yuan by 2024, and by 2028 to reach an output value of 60 billion yuan.
Adapting to the needs of application scenarios in various industries, improving production efficiency, and implementing low-cost operation, Shandong Province is transforming traditional industries to high-end, intelligent, green, and intensive ones. Wang Siwen, CGTN, Shandong Province.
You're watching Global Business. Still to come in the program. The World Gold Council says gold demand fell in the second quarter as central banks slowed purchases.
The world economy as we know it is about to change. Global business reports highlight emerging markets, developing countries, and dynamic sectors worldwide. We feature top analysts and newsmakers to provide perspectives on every facet of business. From an on-the-ground perspective, we provide you with balanced and objective assessments. Fast, sharp, and insightful. Global Business. Only on CGTN.
Gold demand saw a 2% decline in the second quarter of the year to 921 tons. According to the World Gold Council, the decrease was primarily attributed to the sales made by Turkey Central Bank, which were promoted by specific local market conditions. Nevertheless, central banks globally purchased a record-breaking 387 tons of gold in the first half of this year. Further analyzing the demand patterns, investment demand for gold bars and coins experienced a significant surge of 6%, totaling 277 tons in the second quarter. However, exchange-traded funds, or ETFs, witnessed a net outflow of 21 tons. On the brighter side, there was a modest improvement in jewelry consumption with a 3% annual increase to 476 tons. Looking ahead, Louis Street, City Markets analyst at the World Gold Council, highlighted the potential for increased interest in gold among investors and central banks due to the anticipated economic contraction in the second quarter, as gold is often sought after for its safe haven qualities. For more insights on the trends in the global gold market, we're joined by Wang Lixing, Regional CEO of World Gold Council China. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Wang. Despite a challenging political and economic environment in the second quarter this year, what factors contribute to the rather resilience in gold demand?
Thank you. Well, actually, the gold demand actually is quite diverse. We all know that gold demand comes from the following 4 or 5 sectors. One is the central bank's reserve. Second is gold jewelry consumption. And third is the retail gold demand, which refer to the physical gold bars and coins. And the fourth area is the gold ETF with physical gold bagged. And the last one is the demand in the technology area. So actually, because of these attributes, In some of the areas, they may have seen some of the minor decrease in the second quarter. However, in some of the sectors, we have witnessed the increase in other sectors. So that makes all the gold demand quite resilient in the past quarter.
And what are the factors that are promoting central banks to continue to increase their gold reserves?
Well, you just mentioned that the second quarter we have seen a slowdown of the central bank's purchase, mainly because of the slowdown or the sell of gold to the market by some of the limited central banks, such as Turkey. However, we have to remember that Turkey's central banks also have the quite strong purchase of gold in the first quarter. And combined first quarters and second quarters demand for the central banks is still set the record for the first half of the year in history. That shows central banks still have a very strong belief on gold reserves role. And we have realized that one of the purpose for the central banks to hold gold reserve is to diversify their reserve assets. Secondly, is because of the continued positive return for gold in the past, let's see, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years. And thirdly, is because gold market actually has a very deep and strong liquidities. So that means it's easy for any central banks to liquid the asset. And lastly is the gold traditional the role of risk hedging, and the last we call it the last heaven resort role. So because of that attributes, so central banks still have a strong belief on gold reserve, and it played very unique role, which is not easily to be replaced by other assets.
Now,
based on the World Gold Council's market research on the survey on the central bank's reserve management areas, actually diversification of their reserve is one of the major reasons for them to increase the gold reserve.
Thank you so much for insights, Mr. Wang Lijun, Regional CEO of World Gold Council China. Let's take a look at some of the other major headlines from around the world. The Reserve Bank of Australia maintained interest rate at 4.1% for the second consecutive month. The bank acknowledges that previous rate hikes have been effective in tempering demand, but cautions that further tightening may be necessary to address inflation concerns. The Japanese government officials have stated that recent decision by the Bank of Japan to make its yield curve control more flexible does not simplify a shift in its monetary easing stance. This adjustment allows interests to increase more freely in response to rising inflation and economic growth. And the Purchasing Managers Index for manufacturing in the Eurozone dropped to 42.7 in July, marking its lowest level since May 2020. Germany experienced significant weakness, while France and Italy also recorded notable deteriorations compared to June. The International Monetary Fund has provided its most recent projection for the global economy, indicating a 0.2% growth compared to the organization's April projection. In the previous forecast, the IMF leadership expressed concern about the world economy growing at a rate of less than 3% this year, which increased the risk of hunger and poverty on a global scale. On Tuesday, the chief economist of the IMF stated that the global economy is gradually recovering from the effects of the pandemic. Take a listen.
Now, stronger growth and lower inflation than expected are welcome news, suggesting the global economy is headed in the right direction. Yet growth remains low by historical standards, and while some adverse risks have moderated, the balance remains tilted to the downside, and it is too early to celebrate. There are growing signs that global activity is losing momentum.
You're watching Global Business. More to come after break. In our special series on the Belt and Road Initiative, we focus on Quanzhou, a prominent city along the Maritime Super Road.
We are all connected. Across borders, across continents, connected by ideas, a shared humanity. Stay connected.
Moving on to our special series on Belt and Road Initiative, a China-led infrastructure project launched in 2013 that aims to tap into the growth potential of countries along the New Silk Road. Today we focus on Quanzhou, a prominent city along the Maritime Silk Road. In 2022, Quanzhou witnessed a significant increase in trade with Belt and Road countries, with imports and exports exceeding 148 billion yuan. Marking a yearly growth rate of over 14%. This accounted for nearly 55% of the city's total foreign trade. Additionally, the economic contribution of Quanzhou to the region is boosted by the dividends from the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP. In 2022, Quanzhou's imports and exports to RCEP member states amounted to approximately 98 billion yuan. Notably, 7 traditional manufacturing sectors such as shoes, clothing, toys, and constitute about 60% of the city's total exports. The Luban Workshop, named in honor of the renowned Asian Chinese woodcraft master Lu Ban, is a vocational training program oriented from China. Inspired by the craftsmanship in spirit of Lu Ban, it aims to promote China's vocational education models and skills to other nations while nurturing skilled talents locally. Our reporter Olivia He visited a workshop in Quanzhou to provide an in-depth perspective.
Students at the Quanzhou Luban Workshop immersed themselves in the realm of sports shoe design, aiming to enhance performance in footwear production. Guided by their teachers, they learned the intricacies of each step, all conducted in Chinese.
Our role as the initiator of the Luban Workshop Construction Alliances has led us to establish teaching institutions in 11 countries such as Indonesia, Malaysia, and Kyrgyzstan. Our primary aim is to offer Chinese academic education and vocational training to learners abroad, equipping them with the skills and knowledge that can enhance their employment opportunities within Chinese enterprises.
Li Domei highlights the significance of graduates from the Luban Workshop securing positions in local enterprises, particularly in fields such as carpentry, manufacturing, and related industries. Furthermore, students are able to take on independent orders, a testament to the accountability of Luban Workshop's specialized education.
In addition, there are cultural classes specifically designed for international students with the aim of enhancing their understanding of Chinese culture.
In our Chinese class, students have the opportunity to not only learn the language itself, but also delve into Chinese culture, traditional etiquette, customs, and more. It is my aspiration that my students can seamlessly integrate skill development with language proficiency and cultural immersion.
In addition to its success in attracting plenty of international students for technical skills education, the Luban Workshop has also brought about a revolutionary impact on the countries along the Belt and Road. Lydia, a tourism management student from Indonesia, expresses a sense of hope and optimism for her future career opportunities after studying at the workshop, particularly in areas where manufacturing and tourism industries are not as prevalent.
Our professional course teachers take me to learn about the development of rural tourism and get in touch with many tourist attractions, different foods, religion, culture, and etc.
The tourism industry holds significant importance as a key sector in Indonesia. Thanks to the Luban Workshop, it has effectively nurtured proficient technicians in tourism management within the country, providing essential expertise and assistance that actively contribute to the development and progress of the local tourism sector.
The Luban Workshop in Quanzhou now provides an expanding array of specialized programs encompassing diverse fields such as automobile, machinery, tourism, cross-border e-commerce, IT, and more. The rising pool of talented individuals in these domains play a crucial role in supporting the infrastructure development of countries along the Belt and Road Initiative. Olivia Hu, CGTN, Quanzhou City in Fujian Province.
For more discussion on Quanzhou's development, we are joined by Huang Hao from the School of International Studies at Peking University. Thank you for joining us. How can the manufacturing industry in Quanzhou be upgraded to boost foreign trade?
The key to upgrading Quanzhou's manufacturing industry lies firstly in the high-end transformation of traditional industries. In the global supply chain context, companies should correctly position themselves in the supply chain, focusing on specific high-end segments, and make the best of Quanzhou's geographical advantages and connectivity infrastructure to increase foreign trade volume. And secondly, the changes in factor endowments require companies and governments to pay more attention to the development of emerging industries such as new materials, new energy, and high-end equipment as new engines for Quanzhou's foreign trade development. The enterprises should focus on R&D investment, technological innovation, and market layout, while the government needs to support emerging industries in terms of funding and policies.
What is the significance of Quanzhou's role in regional cooperation and the Belt Road projects?
Well, firstly, Quanzhou has formed multiple industrial clusters and has close forward and backward industrial linkages with Southeast Asia and the Middle East. This industrial connection is a key economic foundation for the flourishing development of the Belt and Road Initiative. And after that, Quanzhou has smooth logistics and convenient transportation. It has basically formed a group of ports, relatively complete supporting facilities, and the port conditions in Quanzhou will provide a high-quality hardware foundation. And in addition, Quanzhou's status as a famous hometown of overseas Chinese and its historical connections with other countries also give it an advantage. For example, Southeast Asia is one of the main gathering places for overseas Chinese originating from Quanzhou. They have already established a significant economic influence in Southeast Asia. This historical bond can not only promote trade and investment between China and Southeast Asia countries, but also strengthen Quanzhou's already close economic ties in this region.
In response to weaker global and domestic demand, the central government has called for the need for better quality supply. It means that we provide better quality goods and better quality services, so to spur more consumption. What measures can Quanzhou take to address the call for improving the quality of supply side?
Okay, the group of entrepreneurs in Quanzhou is definitely active. The private economy is thriving, so Quanzhou's supply side reform should continue to stimulate the vitality of the private economy. The private economy will then have sufficient energy and wisdom to achieve intelligent and digital control of the production process, and then increase the value-added products through innovation and boost demand. Second, supply side structural reform does not mean abandoning demand-side management policies. Instead, it requires leveraging demand-side management policies to ensure the continuous deepening of the supply-side structural reform process. As Quanzhou's focus lies in the transformation and upgrading of the manufacturing industry, modernizing the service sector related to manufacturing is thus also crucial. The government needs to improve the level of services for the manufacturing industry, introduce more trade facilitation measures, enhance product clearance efficiency, and give financial support to the logistics industry, platform enterprises, and other service sectors.
Thank you very much for insights, Mr. Huang Hao from the School of International Studies at Peking University. From leisurely strolls in the park to playing sports on pitches, these are familiar scenes. They are part of everyday's life, but now, even in once neglected corners beneath urban overpasses, citizens have found places for physical exercise.
Shady and sheltered, well ventilated, spacious and bright. Welcome to the Fuqing Sports Space, located in Chenghua District, Chengdu. This space has been created by utilizing the unused area under the overpass, eliminating the confinement and stuffiness of indoor spaces. It also addresses issues like the lack of greenery and haphazard parking in idle spaces.
Thanks to sports parks like this, regardless of whether it's raining, cloudy, or sunny, we can engage in sports activities without any hindrance from the weather, as this place provides both shade and shelter.
First, it's close to my home, and second, there is an overpass above, protecting us from sun and rain. Even on a rainy day like today, we can still play basketball here.
Since 2021, Chengdu City has introduced policies focusing on transforming urban leftover spaces into organized and regulated areas. Over the course of 3 years, Chengdu plans to gradually revamp 600 remaining spaces into valuable and attractive locations.
We serve a population of about 20,000 to 30,000 residents. We built this sports space under the overpass in response to the Law of Chengdu Welcome the FISU Games initiative, actively supporting the nationwide fitness campaign.
With the Chengdu Universiade as a catalyst, sports venues in Chengdu have become increasingly diverse. Simultaneously, supporting facilities are continuously being improved to meet the growing demands of sports enthusiasts. The TQ Basketball Park, located under the Shuangqiaozi overpass on the Second Ring Road, has gradually transformed into a comprehensive community service hub, combining sports, cultural leisure, and convenient amenity for the local residents.
The supporting facilities here include coffee shops, convenience stores, bars, and outdoor equipment stores, which can meet the consumption needs of the vast majority of people playing sports. It's a new type of consumption scenario. We also receive government subsidies for selecting the most beautiful community renovation projects.
There is a community operating here, so we can enjoy some services like food and beverages that we cannot enjoy in other ordinary outdoor courts.
Chengdu's sports infrastructure is rapidly improving. Currently, Chengdu has transformed 186 idle spaces into community sports corners, located under bridges, along streets, riverbanks, rooftops, and more, bringing sports facilities right to the doorsteps of citizens, providing a more welcoming and diverse sports experience for everyone. Zhang Haixiang, Hou Jing, CTTN in Chengdu, Sichuan Province.
Nice to watch those people playing basketball. It will do for this edition of Global Business on CTTN. Thanks for watching. I'm Zhu Jinfeng. See you again.
This is CGTN, China Global Television Network.